afternoon, Stitch Roadies. Thanks for stopping by. I surely do enjoy the company. I can't believe what a beautiful day it is. The absolute perfect temperature. It's in the 70s right now. We love it. The plants all love it because it's been drizzling on and off the last couple days, but today the sun is out. And I, again, cannot believe what a perfect spot we have landed for this point in our lives. The rose bushes in our backyard just keep on keeping on blooming. I mean, now I went out and I trimmed I deadheaded all the roses, and then even more came out. It's absolute, that's why Portland is called the Rose City. It's, and if you ever get a chance to visit, you must visit the Rose Garden, and right next, in the same vicinity is the Japanese Garden. Oh, it's just absolutely stunning, the variety of roses. But I just, you know, it's more challenging, although my friend Robin's garden is amazing, but it is more challenging to grow on the other side of the mountain in Sisters Bend. It's totally different. I mean, the variety of plants here is unreal. And so we are going to enjoy this spot in our lives until the next move. That won't be for a long time, but I can almost guarantee there'll be another move. I keep saying, I know I've said it over and over, we are never ever moving again. You never want to use the word never. That just seals your fate, doesn't it? I am never going to buy another chart till I finish all of these. Yeah, no, that is not going to be happening. And when you say it, as soon as it comes out of your thoughts and your mouth and your brain, you already have this little thing that says, let's go shopping. I think in order not to shop, I would have to cut myself off from all contact with another human being that's a stitcher. I really believe that's the only way around it, because if you watch Floss Tube, if you're on Instagram or Facebook, you read blogs, it's inevitable. It's kind of like walking into C's Candy and saying, I'm not going to have any candy, and then that lady hands you the free piece. I wonder, I don't think I've ever refused the free piece. I haven't been in a C's Candy in so long. Yeah, it's been a long time. But what have I been up to? Well, I've been watching some Floss Tube, and, you know, I kind of pick and choose what's going on. My list is so long, and so trying to keep up with everybody, and that's almost, at this point, an impossible. I have to kind of stagger it because everyone is so fabulous. I mean, I really haven't watched a Floss Tube that I absolutely hated. You know, like there's some TV shows that I'm like, who watches this crap? Did I say crap again? God, that's just my word. But Floss Tube, I generally pick up something from every Floss Tube I watch. So, but we're still kind of a little bit busy. We've got some camping ahead of us. We have some family members that are moving, and so there's that kind of thing in your brain, and yeah, just lots and lots of fun and changes in life, and isn't that all you can count on is change? I have been paying attention to my stitching. I'm really in a comfortable spot right now. It's kind of interesting how you can sometimes feel overwhelmed, and then in the next moment you're like in your happy place. And I picked that one of my whip bags out, and I showed you that last time that I was working on the Tiny Modernist Ouija Sal. Oh, there was a Sal for that. I didn't keep up with it. But the Ouija project. And I just kind of have really gotten a groove with it and have been enjoying it. And so I finished the 4 corners. So the 4 corners are done. And I've moved back into the center. I was thinking about just continuing on that outside blocks, but I thought, no, I'll do a little bit of the inside first. So I'm working on that one casket, and I've just really been enjoying it. Yeah, so I'm just going to keep rolling with it and see until I decide I need to put it down. I'm going to start listening to the inner stitcher. I'm going to stop listening to what everybody else is doing, because I think when I listen to what everybody else is doing, then that little person in my brain starts talking to me. You know, I have this little thing in my brain. They did an MRI and it's there. Of course, they just keep checking it to make sure it's staying the same size, and so far, because I'm not listening to a lot of other people, it's staying the same size. So, but Annabelle is what we call her. She doesn't want to listen to anybody else, because when you start judging yourself against what everybody else is doing, it may not work for your personality, and then you feel stressed or you feel like a failure. I think one should watch Floss Tube for the variety. I mean, we don't all want to watch the same TV show. We want a variety of TV shows. And so you should enjoy each and every Floss Tube for what is the gift that they bring. Not use that Floss Tube to judge yourself. Yeah, that's my wisdom for today. So I have been enjoying this Ouija stitch. I have been enjoying my Prairie Schooler Santa stitch, and I vacillate between the two the last few days. The fun thing was that I had my middle grandson here, and I asked him, I wanted to ask him a question, and so I was showing him what I was stitching, and this is what I'm currently stitching, and I'm changing the A and the Z to A and G, and this is going to be for G and I for our Christmas pillow. And oh, I finished the other pillow. I need to bring that over here. I have an FFO. But I thought, you know, I have all these cards. I should ask him what he wants me to stitch for him for like a Christmas ornament this year. I thought that would be a fun project for me. And when he comes over, he can see how I'm doing. So that when I finish this one, the A to Z Prairie Schooler, I laid out all the Prairie Schooler cards, and I told him, which one do you want me to make for you for a Christmas ornament? And you know what he picked? 1992. The one with the fish. Isn't that interesting? He doesn't fish. His dad doesn't fish. So that will be my next one. But I won't be keeping this one. I'll be making it into an ornament for my middle grandson. It kind of gave me a little tickle. It gave me a little tickle. And he looked at all the cards, and he, you know, it was interesting. I have also been working on my friend Sandy says, you always say it backwards on your floss tube. And I do. I think I get so tickled by the booze that it's the Bats and Booze Sal with the Fat Quarter Shop. And I am on the final step. And here you go. The final step is the border around. And then I'm going to fully finish that because it is going to be it's a gift. So I just think it's been a fun stitch. I have to say it's been a fun stitch. So I've been working on that. I was enabled. That's what happens. You have to be prepared that when you are on Floss Tube, you are going to be enabled. And I was watching the 911 Stitcher, of which I'm extremely envious right now because she is at the attic summer school, and someday I'm going to go there and do that. I just didn't, life is too chaotic right now. You know, we have some building going on, some remodeling going on, our regular summer stuff. It's just, I just couldn't fit anything in this summer. But when I was watching her floss tube, now there's a big enabler because she has this whole segment, not only what she's working on or what she has purchased, but she also shows new charts, which is really fun to look at. You know, gives you a heads up on what you might be looking for in the future. It's very informative, a very informative floss tube. And very organized, you know, very organized floss tube. So she showed both of these. These are Blackbird designs, and a lot of you have already seen this one, this little booklet that has the tiny stockings, and there's a couple different designs on the back. But the one that I really jumped on board with was this 3 Stockings for June by Blackbird Design. And the reason I jumped on this is because I still have cousins who are having babies, and, you know, I mean, there's friends whose children are having babies, you know, that kind of thing. Well, there's a stocking in here of a stork carrying a baby. And I thought, that's such a sweet gift for, you know, baby shower, or, you know, I just think it's a sweet ornament kind of gift, first ornament, you know, like baby's first ornament. And then there's also for a wedding, there's this one right here, and that's called a wedding ring block in quilting. And I thought that's a sweet gift for someone getting married. So I decided I needed this. So I got both of these because Stacy told me to. Yeah. The other chart that I had to go get it. Was from Punky Pearl, Heather, and she's just a lovely floss tuber, stitcher, bag maker, all those things. And she was making this, was on a fevered stitch to get this project done as a gift. And when I saw it, I was like, I have to have that, because that's kind of our signature favorite drink around here when we do have a cocktail. It's by Stitch Rovia, and there were like 12 people that had it in their cart. You know, I say pull the trigger or move on, you know. But when life gives you lemons, it's a chart, and it just so, the colors are just so yummy. summer and having fun and life is good and happy hour, and it says when life gives you lemons, make a G&T. You gotta love that. You've gotta love that. It was a PDF download from Stitchrovia, and that is definitely going to be on my list. Now stay tuned. I'm going to just let G do his little magic because I forgot to bring my FFO. Okay, hold on. Back. Magic. So I finished my third Prairie Schooler Santa, my little polar bear. It's FFO'd, stuffed with crushed walnut shells and then a little bit of polyfill before I sew it closed. And I'm using all the same fabric on the back. And I back both of the cross stitch piece and the backing with Pellon SF101. And so now I have 3 done. Yeah. They don't rest very good there, do they? They want to fall. Yeah. Well, I found a wire, instead of a wooden trench bowl, I found a wire trench kind of basket to display them in, and I could put greenery and put them there. So when I get this next one done, that'll be 4 done, and then the one after that will be the one I do for my grandson. So I'll be making that into an ornament for the tree. Yeah. So I had some good notes here, of course. Now I'm welcome to the disorganized channel. Oh, there it is. Welcome to the disorganized channel. The last couple days I've spent almost the entire day in my beehive. That's my quote room. I just felt this big need to get some sewing done, and I didn't have any real agenda this week. So it was a good time to like dive in and make some headway, which I did. You can see that on the Quilt Roadie channel. But while I was working away, I sometimes watch Floss Tube on my laptop in there. I also listen to book, and boy, the book I'm listening to, let me tell you, Lady Robiness, who is, I've told you this, I might have already told you about this book, but she's a librarian, and so I kind of really pay attention when she posts something about books that she likes or that she reads. And this book, I am just in deep. It's long though. I cannot believe how long it is. And I kept hoping, did I already say this? I might have already said all this, but the book is so long that I'm still in the depth of it, you know. But it's called The Rook, and yeah, they made a. I didn't realize this was his first book, but I didn't realize there's already, you know, book 2, book 3, and they've made a series out of it. I don't think I'd want to watch the series because the book is so rich with detail. I'm not sure they could do it justice, but I am in the middle of that. And so what I need is a long walking day or a long driving trip to make some headway. Because I'm like in the final, you know, I've got 2/3 of it done. And I'm just afraid that library's going to yank it back before I get to the finale, you know, the finale. I also spent some time with Cheryl and Colleen stitching with the Sisterlies. I love listening to them because their banter back and forth, and you almost feel like you're a sisterly when you're listening to them, you know. And they've got so much going on that I just wonder how they do it all. Yeah, I wonder how they do it all. Yeah. And I also spent some time this week with Barb, Lost in Floss, and she retired. I can't tell you, I shouldn't say this for those of you that are still in the working force, but maybe it gives you hope. There's no downside to retiring. I have not found one downside to retiring. Well, let me take that back, because it seems I was more organized when I was working. It seemed I got a lot more done. It's like in retirement, my retirement brain embraced my ADHD brain. And yeah, it's kind of interesting. I really did. I would get up at 3:30 or 4 in the morning. If I wasn't in the sewing room, I was at the gym already. And then from the gym, I would be on my way to work for a 5:30 start. And then I worked until, well, it depended on if I was 10 or 12-hour shifts. And it just seemed like I got so much done. And now it seems like I buy so much but don't get so much done. It's confusing to me. I don't know if when you have a certain personality type, if having the structure of work just seems better. It might be something like that, but yeah, I used to get a lot more done. So, but I was so happy for her to have retired. Yeah. Even in the chaos I feel, I'm happy to be retired, especially now. I mean, I have a daughter-in-law who's a nurse, and my heart breaks for her. It's a tough job right now. It's really a tough job, and I just I pray for all of those healthcare workers, firemen. Oh my gosh, everybody is the delivery guys. Oh my gosh, you know, and yeah, there's a lot of challenges, isn't there? She has that hashtag, this one, the 2021 Prairie Schooler Santa Salad. This is that one. She has that going on as a sal. I am just, and I posted on there, but now it's done. So I am posting my Prairie Schooler Santas on another hashtag that someone else started, hashtag PS Santa Sal. And I'll just put that down in the description box for any of you that are interested in doing that. Now, the last floss tube that I watched today was a Chris cross stitch with an X cross stitch, and he's a fairly new to me floss tube, but he has a very, very calming voice, very calming voice, and he is a beautiful soul. And so I have enjoyed his floss tube. You know, I think I read somewhere in the comments that someone thought of him as the Mr. Rogers of cross stitch. And I have to say, you know, Mr. Rogers is very close to our hearts. I made a Mr. Rogers quilt for G, and it's because when G was a stay-at-home dad with our youngest, when our youngest was a baby, that was before that was common, or people even thought of it as an option. And so it also, even though it was the best possible decision we could have made for our family, it was a lonely time for him, because when he would go take our youngest to the park, there might be one other dad there, and they didn't, you know, like moms in the park, they gravitate toward each other, and even if they don't know each other, they'll talk while the kids play. The dads don't really do that, at least not back then. And so it was a very isolating time for him. And when I would come home from work, I know I told you this before, when I come home from work, he would give me an update on Mr. Rogers, where they visited. They went to the crayon factory, or they went to this factory or that factory, and then he'd say, he likes me just the way I am. And so even when he went back to work, I made this Mr. Rogers quilt, because it was the most special time in our lives. It provided an opportunity for a parent to be home with their child, and for us that was a godsend, because our oldest child, we were both nose to the grindstone, and he was in daycare, and that gives you a whole different level of worry. And so it was a perfect decision for us, and we absolutely loved it. Yeah. So I'm going to continue working on my Ouija, and you know, I tried to figure out, I think my next start, let's see, I like the idea of new starts. When I finish something, I start something. Also, and with the Prairie Schooler, it's a no-brainer. It's another Prairie Schooler. But when it's my other cross-stitch projects, it's just whenever I finish something, I'll start something. But I also love the idea of this next month is our anniversary, and I think it might be 45 years. Can you believe it? It might be 45 years. Let's see. No, that can't be right. When did we get married? Do you know when we got married? No, it might be 45 years. Yeah. Wow. Maybe 44. I'll have to figure it out. I'll tell you in the next Floss Tube. But, yeah, we've both grown as people. We have both grown as people, and we have brought each other such gifts. I always used to say, G gives me peace, I give him courage. And by that, I mean, you know, he's a pretty introverted person, and, you know, he likes to camp, but, you know, flying around the world is not his cup of tea, but he has traveled, we have climbed mountains. Yeah, so it's kind of a blessing that we found each other. It's kind of a blessing. Not kind of, it is. So I know I want to do an anniversary start. And then in October, it's a birthday start. And I can't even remember what last year's birthday start is. I have no clue. I know it's not done. I can't imagine that it would be done, but I don't know out of all my whips which was the birthday start. But I like those anniversary things, and October is kind of encompassed with the Halloween, and I love all those holiday starts. You know, I love all those holiday starts. So I see a lot of new starts in my future. And I have beautiful project bags to put them in. Yeah. Well, let me know in the comments what you're working on, and I hope that you are kind to yourself, that, you know, whatever you want to do, each one of us floss tubers is telling you about our journey, and we're not telling you to make you feel guilty about your journey. We're telling you to understand a little bit more about ourselves. So I would love to hear in the comments what your journey looks like, and then we'll meet up here again. Okay? Love you guys. You take care.